students. First of all, I welcome you all to my 9th video on the chapter reaction kinetics. In the previous video, we discussed effect of temperature on the rate of reaction, and under that, we solved some problems on that is calculation of activation energy by making use of Arrhenius equation. Is it not? We'll continue that discussion solving problems on it is Arrhenius equation or calculation of activation energy, right? Look at the second problem here. For the decomposition of methyl iodide, C2H5I, the rate constant is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 5 at 600 kelvins. Rate constant value at 600 kelvins is given. Its activation energy is 209 kilojoules per mole. Activation energy of the reaction is given. Calculate the rate constant of the reaction at 700 kelvins. That is rate constant K1 is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 5 per second. This is rate constant at temperature T1, 600 kelvins, right? And you are supposed to calculate it is rate constant at 700 kelvins. That is, you are supposed to calculate K2 by knowing activation energy, that is 209 kilojoules per mole. You convert that into joules, that is 209 into 10 to the power of 3 joules per mole. This is, and the formula is log to the base 10 of K2 by K1. Yes, that's equal to EA divided by 2.303 R, and of course 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. This is the formula, you know this. And R is there, of course, that is 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole. This is R value. Yes. Substitute all these values and you calculate K2 there. That is log to the base 10 of K2, yes, divided by, yes, K1 is, and of course K1, that's equal to energy of activation is 209 into 10 to the power of 3, yes, divided by 2.303, yes, 2.303 into 8.314, and of course into 1 by T1 is 1 by 600, yes, minus 1 by 700, yes. This is, to simplify this right side component, right side parameter, that is 209 into this 209 into 1000, yes, 209 into 1000 divided by 2.303 divided by, yes, it is 8.314. It comes out to be, yes, it is 109.15.46. This is the value. Then 1 divided by 600 is 0.00. Yes, it is 166 ಬರ್ತದೆ, 167 ಬರೀತೀನಿ minus, okay na, 1 divided by 700, that comes out to be 0. Yes, it is 00142 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Yes, this is, okay na. Subtract ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು multiply ಮಾಡಿ, that is 0.00167 minus 0.00, yes, it is 142, and that is into, yes, this much, 109.15.46, okay, now 109.15.46, it comes out to be, yes, it is 2.728. This is the, yes, it is the simplified value there, okay na, and that's equal to, yes, log K2 by K1. I want K2, of course, therefore K2 by K1 is equal to anti-log of 2.7288. Anti-log of 2.7288. Yes, anti-log of 2.728 ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಂದ್ರೆ, you go for the mantis are there, yes, mantis ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ 0.7288 ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಂಟಿಲಾಗ್ ನೋಡಿ 0.72 at 8 ನೋಡಬೇಕು. ಎಸ್, 0.72 at 8 ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ it will be, yes, 5346 ಇದೆ, that is 5346 ಇದೆ, ಹೌದಾ, that is 0.72 at 88 ಬರ್ತದೆ, ರೈಟ್. 5346 ಇದೆ, ರೈಟ್. ಮೀನ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ 8 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, that is ಮೀನ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, yes, it is 10 ಇದೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ 10 ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 5356 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ 53 ಎಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ 46 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 5356 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೌದಾ? 53 ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ 5356 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ರೈಟ್. ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ 2 ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 2 digits you have to keep the decimal point. Yes, therefore yes, K2 is equal to yes, therefore that is K2 is equal to yes, it is K1 into 535.6 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Yes, K1 ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ, K2 is equal to K1 into this much, that's equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 5 into 535.6 ಇದೆ. ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 535.6 into 1.6. Of course, it comes out to be 856.96. Okay, now into 10 to the power of minus 5. So this is what we call it as K2. Yes, this is K2, and of course in per second. Or you can rewrite it as K2 is equal to 856.96 into 10 to the power of minus 5. It can be written as decimal point ಈ ಕಡೆ ತಗೊಂಬನ್ನಿ, ಅವಾಗ 8.569 into 10 to the power of yes it is minus 3 per second ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. This is the rate constant value for this particular reaction at 700 kelvins. Okay na? 8.569 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Yes, go for it. Look at the problem number 3 here from the question paper, previous year question papers. The rate of reaction increases by 2 times when the temperature is raised from 300 kelvins to 310 kelvins. Calculate the energy of activation anta ide. Rate of reaction increases by 2 times. Andre rate of reaction doubles when temperature is raised from 300 kelvins to 310 kelvins. Calculate the energy of activation. Go for the basic formula. Log to the base of K2 by K1 equals EA divided by 2.303. Yes, it is, or, and of course 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. This is the formula there. ಇಲ್ಲಿ rate constant K1 K2 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. Yes, ಆದರೆ rate of reaction increases by 2 times ಅಂದಾಗ that K2 by K1 ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, that itself is equal to 2. That is temperature coefficient ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ತರ, right? Then T1 is 300 kelvins, right? 300 kelvins, yes. T2 is 310 kelvins, right? Then, and you are supposed to calculate energy of activation EA, and of course you know R is equal to 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole. This is the given information. Substitute here, then log to the base of 2. K2 by K1 is 2 because rate of reaction increases by 2 times. Rate of reaction increases by 3 times andre aವಾಗ 3 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Rate of reaction increases by 4 times andre aವಾಗ ಇದು 4 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Yes, that is you are supposed to calculate energy of activation EA 2.303 into 8.314. Yes, and of course T1 is 300 kelvins minus T2 is 310 kelvins. This is the known information. Yes, log to the base of 2 is 0.3010. Known, this is known for you. Energy of activation ಇದು multiply ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 19.14 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ 1 by 300, that is 0. Yes, it is 0033 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Yes, minus 1 by 310 ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, that is 1 by 310, it is 0.00. Yes, it is 32 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Yes, subtract ಮಾಡಿ. Yes, is energy of activation divided by 19.14 into 0.00 and of course 10 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Yes, therefore energy of activation cross multiply ಮಾಡಿ, that is 0.3010 cross multiply ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ that is ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಇದು cross multiply divide ಮಾಡಿ into 19.14 divided by 0.0001. Yes, simplify ಮಾಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, 0.3010 yes into 19.14 yes divided by 0.00, yes it is 1, it comes out to be, yes it is that is 57611. Yes, it is 0.4 joules per mole. Unit ಗಮನಿಸಿ, energy of activation will have a unit of joules per mole. Yes, 57,611.4 joules per mole is activation energy. That's equal to 57.6114 kilojoules per mole. Yes, that is the answer, right? Go for it. ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಲೈಟ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇದೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇದನ್ನ 400 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ 410 ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸೇಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, 400 to 410 ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೇಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇದು 400 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು 410 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? That is T1 is 400, yes, and it is 410. Yes, this is the change, and of course ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, right? And ಈಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1/400 minus 1/410 ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ? That is 1/400 is 0.0025 minus 1/410. It comes out to be 0.00243. Yes, ಓಕೆನಾ? ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, ಸಬ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 0.025 minus 0.0243. It comes out to be, yes, it is ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 07. yes, it is 0 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್, ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 07 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ರೈಟ್? Then you simplify this, 0.3010, yes, into 19.14, yes, divided by 0.000040 submit 7 haki. It comes out to be, yes, it is ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 82302. that is 82302 joules per mole. 82,302 joules per mole. That is equal to 82.302 kilojoules per mole. kilojoules ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ 1000 ಇಂದ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಜೌಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ kilojoules ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ 1000 ಇಂದ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. This is energy of activation. Yes, go for it. Let us see problem number 5. The specific reaction rate of a reaction is quadruples. Doubles andre increase by 2 times anta, triples andre increase by 3 times anta, quadruples andre rate of reaction is increased by 4 times anta artha. When the temperature changes from 30 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius, calculate the energy of activation. Okay na? ನೋಡಿ, again ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ, rate of reaction doubles ಅಂದ್ರೆ K2 by K1 ಅನ್ನ 2 ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀವಿ. rate of reaction, that is specific reaction rate, ಎರಡು ಒಂದನೇ. rate of reaction ಅಥವಾ specific reaction rate ಅಂದ್ರೆ rate constant ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ, ರೈಟ್? specific reaction rate ಗೆ alternate term rate constant. rate constant quadruple ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ rate of reaction ಕೂಡ quadruple ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. K2 by K1 is 4 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್, ನೋಡಿ, T1 ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 30 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್ ಇದೆ. that is plus 273 ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. that's equal to 303 ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. T2 ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, that is 50 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್ ಇದೆ. that is 273 ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ, that's equal to, yes, it is 323 ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಆರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ? 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole ಇದೆ. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? So now you substitute the values in the given formula, that is log to the base of K2 by K1. yes, energy of activation divided by 2.303, or yes, 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. This is the formula there. ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕು, ರೈಟ್? ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, K2 by K1 ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಇಸ್ 4 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. 2.303 into 8.314, ಎಸ್, and 1 by, yes, it is, that is 303, that is, yes, it is plus minus 1 by 323 ಅಲ್ವಾ? T1 ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 303 ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? T2 ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? yes, it is 323 ಇದೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲಾಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 0. yes, it is 60 something ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್, ಲಾಗ್ 40 ನೋಡಿ, ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ 0 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್, log 40 ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಪ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ log 40 ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 6021 ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ 6021 ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ ಎರಡು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 19.14 ಹೌದಾ. ದೆನ್ 1/303 ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 1/303 1 divided by 303 yes it comes out to be yes it is 0.00330 ಬರುತ್ತೆ minus yes 1 divided by 323 yes it comes out to be yes it is 0.00309 yes and that is what we call it as the value there. ಈಗ energy of activation calculation first yes it is simplify ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 0.00 yes it is 33 minus 0.00 yes it is 309 ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು that is equal to yes energy of activation divided by 19.14 into 0.00021 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. yes ಇದು ಸಬ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ and this is 6021 ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಹೌದಾ. therefore energy of activation cross multiply ಮಾಡಿ 0.6021 into 19.14 divided by 0.00021 simplify ಮಾಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. yes 0.6021 into 19.14 yes divided by 0.00 yes it is 21 and it comes out to be yes it is 54877 yes 0.11 joules per mole yes ಇದನ್ನ ಕಿಲೋ ಜೌಲ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ 1000 ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವಾಗ 54.877 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. so this is what we call it as activation energy for the given reaction. yes ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ. yes this is how you are supposed to solve the problems right. ಈಗ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ right we'll see that. yes let us see problem number 6. the energy of activation of a reaction is 54.46 kilojoules per mole. calculate the temperature coefficient of a reaction if it is carried out at 300 kelvins and 310 kelvins. okay na. temperature coefficient నేను ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ that is K2 by K1 is called as temperature coefficient if the reaction is carried out at two temperatures which will be differ by 10 kelvins. 300 310 kelvins ಎರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ temperature difference ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ 10 kelvins ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ T1 is 300 kelvins right and of course T2 is 310 kelvins right and energy of activation is given 54.46 kilojoules per mole ಇದೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಜೌಲ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ 54460 and of course 0.0 joules per mole ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 54460.0 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. this is energy of activation and as usual you know R value that is 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole. this is what we call it as given information. now you go for the formula then that is log to the base of K2 by K1 is equal to energy of activation yes divided by 2.303 R and of course 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2 yes. log K2 by K1 calculate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು that is log K2 by K1 yes that's equal to 54,460 right. yes it is 460. this is energy of activation in joules okay na. 2.303 into 8.314 ಹೌದಾ and that is 1 by 300 minus 1 by 310 yes and simplify ಮಾಡಿ ಇದನ್ನ yes it is log to the base of yes it is K2 by K1 yes that's equal to 54,460 right divided by 2.303 yes divided by 8.314 yes it comes out to be yes it is 2844 yes 2844.28 and of course this is 1.0033 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ this is 0.0032 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ yes ನೋಡಿ 0.0033 minus 0.0032 it comes out to be yes 2844 yes 0.28 yes and it is 0.001 yes multiply ಮಾಡಿ that is 2844.28 it comes out to be yes it is 0.28 yes 44 ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ this is log to the base 10 of, yes, it is K2 by K1. ಹೌದಾ? log to the K2 by K1 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು K2 by K1. So K2 by K1 is equal to, yes, K2 by K1 is equal to antilog of 0.2844 ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕೀಗ. ಎಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 0.28 at 44 ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಎಸ್ ಆಂಟಿಲಾಗರಿಥಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ರೈಟ್, 0.28 at, ಎಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ 4 ನೋಡಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 1919 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. 0.28 at 4 ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಎಸ್ 1923 ಇದೆ. ಎಸ್ 1923, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ 0.28 at 4 ಬಂತು. ಎಸ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮೀನ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ 4 ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಎಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ 2 ಇದೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 1925 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. therefore 1925 ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ 0 ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 1.295. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್, yes, it is temperature coefficient, that is K2 by K1 is equal to 1.925, that is approximately equal to 2. ಹೌದಾ? approximately equal to 2, that is temperature coefficient. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಹೀಗೆ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಎಸ್, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿರೋದೇನೆ, ಓಕೆನಾ? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಓಕೆನಾ? ನಾವು ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ the last problem of this particular discussion. Okay, now we go for the one more discussion here, one more problem here, that is the slope of the line in the graph of log K versus 1 by T for the reaction is minus 5841 kelvins. Calculate the energy of activation. I said already, I can determine the energy of activation by knowing the slope of the graph obtained by plotting log K versus 1 by T. That is, energy of activation is equal to minus 2.303 or into slope ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ. ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, minus 2.303 into 8.314 into, yes, it is 5841 kelvins. Simple substitution, ಓಕೆನಾ? that is minus ಇದೆ ಅದು, ಹೌದಾ? this is minus 5841 ಇದೆ, ಹೌದಾ? minus into minus plus ಆಗುತ್ತೆ and it will be in terms of joules per mole. yes, just multiply ಮಾಡಿ, you will get the answer. yes, go for it. 2.303 into 8.314, yes, into 5841, it comes out to be, yes, it is 111,838.45 joules per mole. Yes, 1,11,838.45 joules per mole. That is what we call it as energy of activation. Yes, ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ಹೀಗೆ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು? ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು as far as Arrhenius equation, or you can say that calculation of activation energy is concerned. These are the varieties of problems that you can expect in the annual examination as far as that is activation energy and Arrhenius equation is concerned. Ega we'll go to the next topic. We left with 2 more topics in this particular chapter. We'll see them and we'll, so that we can finish the chapter today itself. Okay, now we'll see that next one. Yes, see one more small topic that I need to discuss in this chapter, that is pseudo first order reaction. First order reactions where the rate of reaction is directly proportional to the first power of the molar concentration of reactants, that is called as first order reaction. So in chemistry, we come across certain chemical reactions. Even though they are first order reactions, they are characterized by more than one kind of reacting molecules. These are the first order reactions containing more than one kind of reacting molecules. They are called as, yes, it is pseudo first order reactions. So for example, if I take that CH3COO-C2H5 ethyl acetate undergoes acid hydrolysis, in presence of dilute acids, that leads to the formation of CH3COOH plus, yes, it is C2H5OH. This is one kind of chemical reaction, that is hydrolysis of ethyl acetate. In this reaction, I am going to take excess water. Yes, this is characterized by 2 reacting molecules, but even then it follows first order reaction. Therefore, it is pseudo first order reaction. That is, the first order reactions containing more than one kind of reacting molecules, they are called as pseudo first order reactions. And of course, for this reaction, the rate of reaction is directly proportional to molar concentration of, yes, it is ethyl acetate to the power 1, water to the power 0. The order of reaction with respect to ethyl acetate is 1, order of reaction with respect to water is 0. Therefore, overall order of reaction is 1 plus 0, that's equal to 1. Even though it contains two kinds of reacting molecules, its order is 1. That's why it is pseudo first order reaction. Generally, pseudo first order reactions are obtained by taking one of the reactants in excess over the other. If I take one of the reactants in excess over the other, then only that pseudo first order reaction is obtained. That means by taking one of the reactants in excess over the other, you can change the order of a reaction. Then the rate of reaction is independent of molar concentration of that reactant which is taken in excess. ಯಾವ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸಚ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಸೂಡೋ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ವೈ ದ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋಲಾರ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ರಿಯೇಜೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ನೋಡಿ, ಇಫ್ ಐ ಟೇಕ್ ಎಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ 0.01 moles of ester ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. I start the chemical reaction by taking 0.01 mole of ester. Then I take 100 moles of water. Yes means I have taken excess of water over the other reactant. Upon chemical reaction, say for example 0.01 mole of ester is reacted. What is the amount of ester left? 0. 0.01 mole ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ, 0.01 mole react ಆಯಿತು. That is 0.01 mole of ester reacts with 0.01 mole of water, because in this reaction 1 mole of ester reacts with 1 mole of water alva. Hagagi 0.01 mole of ester reacts with 0.01 mole of water. Then what is the amount of water left? That is 99.99. Howda? 99.99 moles. Reaction ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ the amount of water left is 100 minus this ಮಾಡಿ. 100 minus 0.0 another 99.99 mole. Even though water undergoes chemical reaction, ನೋಡಿ, after the chemical reaction, amount of water left is 99.99. That is almost equal to 100 moles. ಹೌದಾ? I started the chemical reaction by taking 100 moles of water. Even after the chemical reaction, amount of water left will be 100 mole itself. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ this is very very high compared to the concentration of ester. ಇದನ್ನ ತುಂಬಾ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ನೀವು 100 moles ಅಲ್ಲಿ 0.01 mole of water ಮಾತ್ರ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಅವಾಗ 99.99 moles of water ಉಳಿತು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಪ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ 100 mole. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನರ್ಥ? The rate molar concentration of water remains the same even though chemical reaction proceeds. Chemical reaction ನಡೆದರೂ ಕೂಡ molar concentration of water ಸೇಮ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. 100 ಇದ್ದು 100 ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ rate of reaction is independent of molar concentration of reactant that is taken in excess. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಪವರ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ ನ 0 ಬರೆದಿರ್ತೀವಿ. molar concentration of water raised to power 0. ಬರೀ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, A plus B gives products ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, if I take B in excess ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Rate of reaction is independent of molar concentration of B that is taken in excess. ಅಥವಾ ಈ B ಬದಲಾಗಿ A excess ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಆಗ rate of reaction is independent of molar concentration of A that is taken in excess. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ the rate of reaction is independent of molar concentration of reactant which is taken in excess over the other. Therefore, it is pseudo first order reaction ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ಇದು one example. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 2-3 ಸಾರಿ what is pseudo first order reaction, give example. This is example ಬರೆದು ಆ ರೇಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಈ ರೇಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅಥವಾ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸುಕ್ರೋಸ್ ಅಂತಿದೆ. ಹೈಡ್ರೋಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸುಕ್ರೋಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ವಾಟರ್ ನ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ an example for pseudo first order reaction. That is hydrolysis of sucrose. Sucrose formula ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ, that is it is C12 H22O11 plus water. Water is in excess, yes, in presence of acid H plus. Okay na? So we're going to get C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. Here rate is equal to K into C, that is C12 H22O11 to the power 1, water to the power 0. This is what we call it as zero first order reaction. This is a first order reaction. 1 plus 0 is equal to what? 1. Now the rate of reaction is independent of molar concentration of water that is taken in excess. So this is also an example for pseudo first order reaction. ಆಗೋದಲ್ಲ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೂಡೋ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್, ಗಿವ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದನ್ನ ನೆಗ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ನಾವು ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅಪ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction. Yes. So the third factor that we supposed to discuss as far as the rate of reaction is concerned, that is effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction. We completed the effect of concentration on the rate of reaction, effect of temperature on the rate of reaction. Now it is effect of catalyst. You know, catalyst is a substance that alters the rate of reaction without taking part in chemical reaction. Howda? Catalyst is one particular substance, one particular chemical substance that alters the rate of reaction without undergoing a permanent change in a chemical reaction. Chemical reaction they participate more than it is going to alter, it is going to change the speed of the reaction. It is going to change the speed of the reaction, and that is called as, yes, it is catalyst. Generally, we have a catalyst that is going to increase the rate of reaction. At the same time, we have certain substances called inhibitors. Or you can say negative catalyst. Inhibitors or negative catalysts, they are going to decrease the rate of reaction. Our interest is only on the catalyst, that is positive catalyst, that increases the rate of chemical reaction without undergoing any permanent change in a chemical reaction. Chemical reaction ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡದೇನೆ ಅದು ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಲಿಸ್ಟ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, KClO3, that is potassium chloride, yes, and that decomposes to produce, yes, it is potassium chloride and oxygen gas. If you balance it, 2 KClO3 that is 2 KCl plus 3 O2. This is one chemical reaction. In the absence of catalyst, this reaction is very, very slow. If the reaction is carried out in presence of manganese oxide, the reaction will be taking place at a high speed. The reaction rate anagutte, speed ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ if I use the catalyst. ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋದೇನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, why should a catalyst increase the rate of reaction? What is the reason behind that increase in rate of reaction in the presence of catalyst? That we'll see by making use of what we call it as activated complex theory. I make use of that activated complex theory in order to study the effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction. Consider one chemical reaction A plus B that gives products. This is one chemical reaction, and of course chemical reaction will be taking place in the absence of catalyst. And as far as this chemical reaction is concerned, you know that reactants will not be directly converted into products. Reactants will not be directly converted into products. First, what happens, upon collision between two reacting molecules, and say for example, both the molecules are activated molecules antane itkolona. A and B are activated molecules. Activated molecules andre they have got sufficient energy to take part in chemical reaction. Andre their energy will be greater than activation energy of a reaction. Howda? And when these activated molecules undergo chemical reaction, and they collide and they form one intermediate compound, that is A dot dot B. This is intermediate compound, yes, and its energy is very, very high, and of course highly energetic. Yes, it is intermediate complex. Unstable intermediate complex, its energy is very, very high, and this intermediate complex undergoes yes, it is decomposition to give products. This is what we call chemical reaction. You know that reactants will not be directly converted into products. When, yes, it is two reacting molecules undergo collision, when two activated molecules undergo collision, you are going to get one intermediate compound, whose energy is maximum and which is unstable, and that decomposes to produce products. For this particular reaction, if I plot the energy profile diagram, if I draw the energy profile diagram, yes, and on the, yes, it is y-axis, what you need to take is potential energy, potential energy along y-axis, and of course along x-axis it will be reaction coordinate. Reaction coordinate is what is that? Along x-axis we are going to study the progress of the reaction and astana. Yes. So for example, this is what we call reacting molecules at this particular point, that is A and B. This is at this particular point reacting molecules are there. Yes. The progress of the reaction will be like this. Yes, this is the progress of the reaction. At this particular point, we have activated complex A dot 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 B. This is activated complex of this particular reaction, and that is carried out in the absence of catalyst. Idanna catalyst ildarene reaction madidini. Okay na? and of course this is a reactant, and of course this is a product. Howda? Here we have a product. Yes. Howda? If the same chemical reaction is carried out in presence of catalyst, look at this. If the same chemical reaction is carried out in presence of catalyst X, then you are going to get entirely different intermediate. That is, you are going to get entirely different intermediate. Intermediate is different. A dot 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 X dot 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 B, and that gives products on decomposition. That gives products, and of course, catalyst is regenerated. X is regenerated. Now, absence of catalyst ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ A dot dot B was the intermediate. In the presence of catalyst, ಇದು ನೋಡಿ, you are going to get entirely different intermediate. Intermediate change ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Because of this different intermediate, that reaction path will be changed. Reaction path ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Change ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ತರ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Reaction ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೋಡಿ, in the presence of yes it is catalyst, you got different yes it is intermediate. ಹೌದಾ? A dot dot X, A dot dot X, X dot dot B. ಇದು intermediate ಬಂದಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ reaction path change ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. ನೋಡಿ, and it is following alternate path. This is the new path that reaction is proceeding, and of course this is what we call it as yes it is. This is a path of the reaction in the presence of catalyst. This is catalyzed reaction. Yes, this is catalyzed reaction, and this one is uncatalyzed reaction. Howda? This is uncatalyzed reaction. Howda? This is uncatalyzed reaction. Howda? And look at the effect of the catalyst here. Catalyst ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡಿ. In the absence of catalyst, look at the yes it is. So this is threshold energy. ಹೌದಾ? ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ? Threshold energy. Look at this. This is what we call it as activation energy, EA. This is activation energy, EA. This is the gap, that is activation energy for this particular reaction path, which is carried out in the absence of catalyst. This is for the uncatalyzed reaction, energy of activation. ಹೌದಾ? ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, if yes it is for the catalyzed reaction, this is the activation energy. This is the activation energy, that is EA dash. This is the activation energy. Nodi. Yes it is. This is the yes it is activation energy for catalyzed reaction. Look at the EA and EA dash. Which is bigger? That is EA dash is smaller than EA. Due to the presence of catalyst, reaction follows a different path, and for that purpose, energy of activation decreases. Catalyst use ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ the reaction is proceeding in a different path. Yes, reaction is proceeding in a different path. Yes, ಹಾಗೇನಾಯ್ತು? Activation energy ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯ್ತು. ಈಗ ಇದು uncatalyzed reaction ಗೆ activation energy ಆದ್ರೆ ಇದು catalyzed reaction ನೋಡಿ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾಯ್ತು. ಅಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಯ್ತು? More and more reacting molecules will cross the barrier and they are converted into products, and the rate of reaction increases. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, if activation energy decreases, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Rate of reaction increases. Therefore, in the presence of catalyst, positive catalyst, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? The activation energy of reaction decreases, and therefore rate of reaction increases. ಹೀಗೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ explain graphically effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, ಅಥವಾ represent graphically the effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಈ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬರೆದು uncatalyzed reaction ಯಾವುದು, catalyzed reaction ಯಾವುದು, ಓಕೆನಾ? Activation energy for the uncatalyzed reaction, activation energy of the catalyzed reaction ಇವೆರಡು ತೋರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು activation energy for the catalyzed reaction is smaller than activation energy for uncatalyzed reaction ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. Catalyst increases rate of reaction by decreasing activation energy of reaction ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್, ಏನಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗಮನಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, even though I use the catalyst, ನೋಡಿ, even though I use the catalyst, this is energy of the product. ಹೌದಾ? This is product ಅಲ್ವಾ ಇದು? This is reactant ಅಲ್ವಾ? This is energy of the reactant, this is energy of the product. ಹೌದಾ? This is energy of the reactant and this is energy of the product ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, this is what we call it as delta H ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. That is delta H is equal to, yes it is EP minus ER. Yes, this is EP, right? Energy of the products minus energy of the, yes it is reactant. That is negative. Therefore it is exothermic ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. So this gap is what we call enthalpy of reaction. Energy of the reactants, ಇದು energy of the products. ಆ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದು delta H, enthalpy of reaction. ನೋಡಿ, ನೀವು uncatalyzed reaction ಮತ್ತೆ catalyzed reaction ಎರಡು ನೋಡಿ. Even though I use the catalyst, this delta H value does not change. Activation energy ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೀಗಾಯ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಇದು in the absence of catalyst, in the presence of catalyst, delta H remains same. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ನಿಮಗೆ, catalyst ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಸರಿ, ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇದ್ರು ಸರಿ, delta H ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. therefore delta G remains same. delta G remains same even though catalyst is used, because delta G ಯಾಕೆ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ delta H is constant. You know, delta G depends on delta H, that is minus T into delta S ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ catalyst ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ H ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ G ನು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ G ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಈಕ್ವಿಲಿಬ್ರಿಯಂ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಎಸ್, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ presence of catalyst decreases activation energy, but it does not affect free energy change delta G and enthalpy of reaction delta H. Even it doesn't affect the equilibrium constant, because presence of catalyst increases rate of forward reaction as well as backward reaction to the same extent. Catalyst ಅನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿದಾಗ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈಕ್ವಿಲಿಬ್ರಿಯಂ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರಿಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಸೇಮ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ catalyst has no effect on equilibrium and equilibrium constant, so also delta G and delta H. It decreases only activation energy. So this is what we call it as effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction. Now at this moment we have a last discussion of the chapter, that is collision theory of reaction rates. Okay, now we'll see that. Yes. Okay students, we'll see the collision theory of reaction rates. As you know, while studying effect of temperature on the rate of reaction, I already discussed that the rate of reaction is directly proportional to number of collisions per second per unit volume anteli. Rate of reaction is directly proportional to number of collisions per second per unit volume. And of course, all collisions among the reacting molecules doesn't lead to the formation of products. All collisions among the reacting molecules doesn't lead to the formation of products because of activation energy. Because that is as far as reacting molecules are concerned, we have normal molecules and activated molecules. If energy of the reacting molecules is less than the activation energy, then the collisions among those molecules will not be lead to the formation of products. Only the collisions among the activated molecules lead to the formation of products, and that will be accounted by this particular parameter, that is rate is equal to rate is proportional to that is rate is equal to Z into it is AB, and of course e to the power of minus EA by RT. This is mathematical expression similar to that of K is equal to A into e to the power of minus EA by RT. This is Arrhenius equation. But collision theory will give this particular equation, that is rate constant is replaced by rate of a reaction, because rate constant is a direct measure of rate of a reaction. Z is like Arrhenius factor. A badlagi Arrhenius factor, that is frequency factor, that is it's the frequency of binary collisions. The collisions among the two reacting molecules, that is binary collisions. The number of binary collisions per second per unit volume is ZAB. AB and two molecules A and B, that is ZAB. Frequency of collisions, frequency of binary collisions, number of binary collisions per second per unit volume is Z there. I said in order to account for the activation energy, we have EA here, is it not? This is activation energy. And of course, only activated collisions among the activated molecules lead to the formation of products. So that is what we call it as it is the rate of reaction. The rate of reaction depends on it is number of effective collisions among the it is reacting molecules. That will be indicated by this particular mathematical expression. ಹೌದಾ? ಈ mathematical expressions ಅನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ justify ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. And it has been observed that, and this particular equation is true only in the case of simple chemical reactions. Only in the case of the chemical reactions involving atoms and molecules. ಯಾವ chemical reactions ಅಲ್ಲಿ simple atoms with the simple molecules, they are considered to be spherical molecules, because collision theory of reaction rates consider reacting molecules as spheres, hard spheres. Reacting molecules ಅನ್ನು hard spheres ಅಂತ consider ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, and chemical reactions is because of collisions among the hard spheres. But actually, molecules are characterized by definite structure, is it not? Just imagine that big molecules, they are characterized by different arrangement of atoms in its molecule. ಹೌದಾ? ಒಂದು ಬಿಗ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್. ಹೌದಾ? ಆದ್ರೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಆಫ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ರೇಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ದ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ಸ್, ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ದ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ lead to the formation of product ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. And that is highly true in the case of simple molecules and the reactions involving atoms and simple molecules, which will be considered as hard spheres. ಆದರೆ this is not true in the case of, yes, it is what we call it as complex molecules. This is not complex molecules ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. even though the reacting molecules are activated molecules. ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟೆಡ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ರೇಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ದ ರೇಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರಬಲ್ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್. if I use this equation for complex reactions ಗೆ ಈ equation ಅನ್ನು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, there is a considerable deviation in the reaction rate values. There is a considerable deviation in the reaction rate values. Even though the chemical reaction involves activated molecules. Now ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ that all collisions among the reacting molecules do not lead to the formation of products. Only the collisions among the activated molecules lead to the formation of product ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಹೌದಾ? If it is true, ಇದೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಸತ್ಯ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕಿತ್ತು ಗೊತ್ತಾ, that rate of reaction values calculated by this particular equation should match the rate of reaction values calculated from the experiments, even in the case of complex reactions. But this equation will be failed in complex reactions. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, that in addition to that parameter activation energy, in addition to that factor activation energy, there is one more factor that is going to decide effective collisions among the molecules. Effective collisions among the molecules is decided by one factor is activation energy. And in addition to that activation energy, we have one more factor that is going to decide what we call it as the effective collisions among the reacting molecules. And that factor is orientation factor. That factor is orientation factor. ಈ equation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ activation energy ಅನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓರಿಯಂಟೇಷನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಲೆಕ್ಕಕ್ಕೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಓರಿಯಂಟೇಷನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಈ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವೇನ್ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅವುಗಳು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಓರಿಯಂಟೇಷನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್, ಎಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ the factor will be introduced, that is P anteli, that accounts for the orientation, proper orientation of the reacting molecules. That is that AB into P e to the power of minus EA by RT. That is P is corresponding to proper orientation of the reacting molecules. In addition to that, yes, it is activation energy. The reacting molecules should be properly oriented so that the collisions among the reacting molecules lead to the formation of products. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ, ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವುಗಳು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟೆಡ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನ ಗಮನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ನೌ ದಿಸ್ rate is equal to ZAB. This accounts for number of collisions per second per unit volume. P accounts for, yes, it is that is proper orientation factor ಅಥವಾ orientation of reacting molecules, and e to the power of minus EA by RT ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, that is called as Boltzmann factor. That is called as Boltzmann factor. Yes, this particular e to the power minus EA by RT, that gives you what information it tells you means, it tells you the fraction of the total number of activated molecules present in a given reaction mixture. It tells you the fraction of total number of molecules whose energy equal to or greater than, yes, it is activation energy. Yes, Boltzmann factor. Yes, okay na. ಈಗ ಓರಿಯಂಟೇಷನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸೇರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ this is the equation now that we are using for calculating rate of reaction. That includes Yes, it is number of collisions per second per unit volume, orientation factor, and of course, fraction of total number of molecules possessing energy equal to or greater than activation energy. Then that gives you rate of reaction. And of course, in order to justify that, I'm going to give you one reaction that you already studied in, yes, it is organic chemistry, that is what we call SN2 mechanism. That is, this is methyl, yes, it is methyl bromide, yes, this is methyl bromide, yes, and of course that reacts with OH minus, okay na? OH minus reacts with methyl bromide, and of course there are two possibilities. In possibility antandre, yes, there are two possibilities with which, yes, it is OH minus can attack, yes, it is methyl bromide here. ಎರಡು ways ಅಲ್ಲಿ methyl bromide ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಇದು ನೋಡಿ CBr, Br has got delta minus, C has got delta plus, ಹೌದಾ? And if OH minus attacks this molecule from this side, OH minus ಈ end ಇಂದ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, that is H, this is H, this is H, ಹೌದಾ? And this is Br, yes, minus, delta minus, and it is delta plus, and of course this is OH minus, ಹೌದಾ? If OH minus attacks from this side, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ this minus and this minus will undergo repulsion, ಹೌದಾ? ಈ Br minus ಇದೆ, ಇದು ಕೂಡ OH minus ಇದೆ, ಈ ಎಂಡ್ ಇಂದ ಇದನ್ನ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, if OH minus attacks this methyl bromide from this end, from this direction, there is a repulsion between Br minus and OH minus, and it is improper orientation. What is that? Improper orientation. It is orientation is not proper, therefore chemical reaction doesn't take place and no products will be formed, even though these reacting molecules have, yes, it is energy equal to or greater than activation energy. Even though they are activated molecules, ಇವುಗಳು activated molecules ಆಗಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ collisions among the molecules do not lead to the formation of products because their orientation is not proper. ಈ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇವುಗಳ ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಪಲ್ಷನ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವುಗಳು ದೂರ ಹೋಗ್ತವೆ, ಆಗ ಓರಿಯಂಟೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವಾಗ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲ. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ನೋಡಿ ಈ OH minus ಈ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೆನ್ಪು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, SN2 ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಫೈಲ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ರೇರ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್, ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ರೇರ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಟು ದಿ ಲೀವಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಫೈಲ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ರೇರ್ ಸೈಡ್, ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಟು ದಿ ಲೀವಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಹೌದಾ? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ if it attacks from back side ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, plus attracts minus, then you are going to get, yes, it is, and that transition state will be produced. Yes, there is a transition state, and of course you know this transition state, you observe this is delta minus, this is delta plus, and it is delta minus, this is transition state, ಹೌದಾ? ಈಗ OH minus ಈ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ orientation is proper, this is proper orientation, ಹೌದಾ? Orientation is proper, ಹೌದಾ? ಅವಾಗ intermediate ಬರುತ್ತೆ, this undergoes, yes, it is that leads to the formation of product, that is methyl alcohol plus Br minus, ಹೌದಾ? ಈಗ OH minus ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇಂದ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ Br minus will be the living group, OH will be attached to carbon, and you are going to get a product CH3OH plus Br minus. This is how orientation will affect, will decide the orientation. Also one of the factors that is going to decide the effective collisions, ಹೌದಾ? ಓರಿಯಂಟೇಷನ್ ಇಂಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಓಕೆನಾ? ಈ ಇದೊಂದು ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಓಕೆನಾ? ಇವೆರಡು ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಡಿಕ್ಕಿ ಹೊಡೆದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಓರಿಯಂಟೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್. ಅದೇ ನೋಡಿ ಇದೊಂದು ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಹೀಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಈ ತರ ಹಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೀಗೆ ಹಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಈ ತರ ಹಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಈ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಹೌದಾ? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಓರಿಯಂಟೇಷನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟು ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ಸ್. ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ದ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದಿ ಥಿಯರಿ ಆಫ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಆಫ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ರೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು one is activation energy, second one is proper orientation of reacting molecules ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬೇಕು, ಓಕೆನಾ? So this is what we call it as the chapter reaction kinetics. I tried my level best to convince you people the important aspects of this particular chapter. Okay na? Nantara in a ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ I am going to prepare one video on this particular chapter with respect to the multiple choice questions from the national level competitive exams. Agvada, we'll see in the next video with a new chapter. Okay na? We'll see that.